Hey, what's up, you guys? WWE Fan 0599 here again, and today we're going to review Lethal Weapon 3. So, Lethal Weapon 3 stars Mel Gibson, Danny Glover, Joe Pesci, and Rene Russo. And what this film is about, it's about when Murtaugh and Riggs have to pursue an arms dealer that's like basically selling dangerous firearms around the town. Murtaugh and Riggs have to basically put a stop to him, and they also find out that he used to be an FBI agent himself. So, yeah. So, what did I think of Lethal Weapon 3? It's not a bad movie, but at the same time, it's not that good. It's a pretty mediocre third installment to the series, in my opinion. I didn't really enjoy Lethal Weapon 3 all that much, so yeah. So let's get into my positives, and my positives are the acting. The acting is great, especially from its two main stars, of course, Mel Gibson and Danny Glover. Thought Mel Gibson was great as Riggs. I loved him as Riggs. He still does a great job as Riggs. Mel Gibson was great in the film. Danny Glover as Murtaugh, he was still great. I still thought he did a great job as well. I really enjoyed him in the film as well, so yeah. So the acting is still great from mostly everybody in the film. The action's great. I love the action with the movie. The action is great for the most part. I do love the action with the film. Some very well-filmed action, in my opinion. Richard Donner still does a great job directing the action. The chemistry, of course, between the two main characters, Murtaugh and Riggs, still great. I still love it. Mel Gibson and Danny Glover really do have great chemistry with each other, and definitely shows in these movies. And they just do a great job, and they had great chemistry with each other. The writing's really good for the most part. I thought the writing was really good. The directing's really good. It's directed, of course, by Richard Donner. And he does a really good job directing this film as well, so yeah. And the pacing is really good for the most part. I do think the pacing is really good for the most part. It does move fast, just like the other two, but we'll get more into that later. But yeah, the pacing is good for the most part, so yeah. Now my negatives with the film, and my negatives are, some of the acting is not the best. Of course, Joe Pesci, why after the second movie did they decide to bring him back? Like, why? Luckily, he has less screen time in this movie, thankfully, than he did in the second one, but it's still annoying. Whenever he shows up, it's still annoying. And just, okay. It's starting to get on my nerves. It really is. It's starting to really get on my nerves. And to the point where someone just needs to drop kick him. Like, at that point, it really is. So yeah, Joe Pesci is just annoying. Rene Russo, now, I really enjoy Rene Russo as an actress. She's a really good actress. And I've enjoyed her in movies like, Nightcrawler and stuff, but in this, not awful. Like, I did hate her character the first time she was coming up. Like, she was just terrible. But then later on, it was just a mediocre performance. They tried to make her the female version of Riggs, and it really doesn't work. Like, it really doesn't work, and it just felt really awkward to me. So yeah, Rene Russo was just alright. Some of the action felt underwhelming. There were some scenes where I felt it was underwhelming. I was like, meh. Yeah, just not all that exciting at times. The whole thing about Murtaugh retiring was so unnecessary. Like, do we really need that cliche in every single cop film where they're going to retire? Like, and then not to spoil anything, but then when you know where it's going, come on now. Like, it's just, why did we need it in this film? It was so unnecessary. So yeah. There is some... the villains, no, before I get into that, the villains are mediocre. They really are. These are some just bland villains. Like, they do really not that much. Like, this, even though I didn't really enjoy the villains in the second film, they were way better than this villain. Like, these villains were just weak. They did mostly nothing. They were just some weak villains. So yeah. Some of the writing was very iffy. Like, there was some sloppy writing at times I noticed in the film. And it does get boring at times. There are some times where the movie does get boring, and I felt like it was slowing down a bit, so yeah. But overall, Lethal Weapon 3 is just not that good of a third installment. It's not terrible, like I said. It's just I didn't enjoy it as much as the first two, and it's definitely a mediocre installment, so yeah. So it's time for my official grade on Lethal Weapon 3, and my official grade on Lethal Weapon 3 is a C+. Like I said, an okay film. It's not terrible, but at the same time, it's not that good either. So yeah, getting a C+. So what do you guys think of Lethal Weapon 3? Leave in the comment section below. And I'm WWE Fandom 599, and we'll see you all tomorrow for my review for Lethal Weapon 4. Peace.